God says, I am pleading with you. Those words are the doorway into something rare, something almost impossible to imagine. God says, this not in anger, not in fear, but in deep love, like a parent grabbing their child's hand before a life-changing moment. He says you've been chosen, not randomly, not by chance, but carefully, as if he sifted through thousands and placed his finger gently on your heart. What he is sending is not ordinary, it's personal, private, sacred, meant only for you. He tells you to speak to no one about it, because some things lose their power when exposed to the noise of the world, and this one arriving in just 2 minutes is about to shift the direction of your whole life. You didn't land here by mistake, God says, you are standing right where you were meant to be, almost as if the ground beneath your feet transformed the moment you reached this point. If you feel something move inside you, a tug, a pressure, a warmth, that's not imagination. That's the echo of every moment God tried to reach you. Think back, the days you felt sudden goosebumps, the nights your chest felt heavy for no clear reason, the moments when you paused in the middle of chaos because something inside whispered wait. That was him calling, nudging, pushing you toward this exact minute. But today is different, God says, he is not whispering anymore. He is raising his voice, like someone shouting across a river to make sure their message reaches the one they love. He begs you not to turn away now. What's coming isn't the kind of miracle people talk about casually, it's the kind that heals what doctors gave up on, the kind that fixes relationships everyone believed were ruined, the kind that restores dreams you silently buried because you thought they were too far gone. And he says it will begin in 2 minutes, quietly, gently, but undeniably. God knows, the world has tried to convince you that he forgot you. That your prayers were weak or late or unheard. But he says he has been watching your story with more attention than you know. He saw every tear you hid, every breath you took when your heart felt too heavy, every moment you forced a smile even while breaking inside. And now he says your season is changing. The winds around your life are shifting. Something in the unseen world has already started moving, like clouds rearranging before a thunderstorm, except this storm carries blessings, not destruction. God reminds you of Daniel, the one who prayed and waited for 3 weeks. The answer was sent the moment he prayed, but something in the spiritual realm tried to delay it. God says, the same happened to you. Your blessings were on the way long ago, but darkness tried to block them, hoping you would let go, hoping you would lose faith. But you didn't, even on tired days, even when you doubted, even when you questioned everything, you still held a tiny thread of belief. That thread is the reason this miracle still carries your name. He tells you he is stepping into your life in ways you can't see yet, into your home, your health, your finances, your relationships, your mind. He says he is touching places in you that haven't been touched in years, wounds you forgot, questions you stopped asking, hopes you stopped watering. He promises that whatever he speaks cannot return empty, and the words he has spoken over you are now ready to bloom. The trembling in your heart is not fear, it's movement. It's the spiritual world adjusting itself around you because heaven has leaned closer. God wants you to understand something clearly, he is not mad at you. He is not punishing you. You didn't lose your chance. Your mistakes didn't disqualify you. Your doubts didn't push him away. His love is bigger than every flaw you think you have. Before you were even born, He wrote your name into His story. He knew every challenge you would face, every person who would leave, every moment you would break, and He still called you His. Nothing and no one can undo what He has spoken over your life. Right now He says the atmosphere around you is shifting. Angels are watching over you, like guards standing at a door that's about to open. Heaven is not silent, it is celebrating quietly, knowing your moment is near. God says, your only task now is to stay open, to stay soft, to stay willing, to stay expecting, because this miracle is delicate, holy, and meant to arrive without noise or interference. He warns you not to share this with others. Not because it's a secret of shame, but because not everyone can understand a blessing this rare. Some people would doubt it, question it, or speak fear into it. And fear is the one thing that could dim the light of what's approaching. So He asks you to keep this close to your heart, like a precious seed planted in hidden soil. God says, He works in the quiet so He can reward you in the open. This moment has been part of your destiny long before you knew it. A page has turned in the story of your life, and the new chapter begins not with noise, but with a shift inside your soul. The pain you've carried for too long, the confusion that clouded your path, the heaviness that visited you at night, it is all being lifted. God has spoken to the storm around you, and it has no choice but to calm down. He says He has already sent protection around your house, peace into your mind, and clarity into your spirit. What is approaching you is not delayed, it is perfectly timed. You may not see the full picture yet, but He sees every detail, the betrayals you hid, the wounds you minimized, the nights you asked Him why it had to be so hard. And still He chose this day, this hour, this minute. Because your miracle is only 2 minutes away. And it is yours, only yours. A quiet gift from God's own hands. That the fight around you has never been random. The enemy did not attack you because you were weak, he attacked because he saw what I placed inside you. He saw the potential you tried to hide. He saw the breakthrough forming long before you felt it. And he panicked. Darkness always fears what carries my light. That is why the pressure increased. That is why the nights felt heavier. That is why you question yourself even when you were doing everything right. But hear me now, what tried to break you has only polished you. What tried to bury you has only planted you. And what tried to silence you has only strengthened your voice. You are stepping into a moment that has been stitched into your destiny since before your first breath. And this moment is not loud, not flashy, not forced, it is sacred. It is the kind of moment where heaven leans close and whispers now. You'll notice your spirit calming as things fall into place. You'll sense a stillness that feels unfamiliar because you haven't had peace like this in years. But this time it stays. This time it grows roots. Child, what I'm releasing in your life isn't temporary relief, it's permanent redirection. It is the kind of shift that rewrites futures and breaks generational patterns. Some of you will feel old fears finally loosen their grip. Some will suddenly realize they don't carry the same heaviness they woke up with yesterday. Some will see opportunities that disappeared suddenly return, but healthier and timed perfectly. Nothing I allow back into your life will be harmful, everything returning now is purified and sent by me. And listen closely, what left your life was meant to leave, it hurt I know, it felt like loss, like betrayal, like failure. But I wasn't punishing you, I was protecting you. You prayed for peace so I removed what disturbed it, you prayed for clarity so I uncovered truth, you prayed for growth so I cut unhealthy roots. Trust what I removed just as much as what I'm giving, both were necessary. You've been moving through a season where it felt like no one clapped for you, no one understood you, no one truly saw you. But I did. I saw the nights you tried to be strong for everyone else while falling apart in secret. I saw you encouraging others while fighting invisible battles of your own. I saw you choosing kindness even when your heart felt bruised. And I counted every moment as faithfulness. Nothing you offered in love was wasted, nothing you endured quietly was ignored. Now watch what I do with that. Some of you will receive answers you didn't even pray for recently, prayers you forgot, prayers you whispered a long time ago, prayers you assumed were denied. But I never forgot, I carried each one waiting for the perfect timing, and now timing has aligned with purpose. Feel this, your story is not slowing down, it's accelerating. The path in front of you is opening not because you forced it but because I ordered it. You don't need to rush, you don't need to worry, what's meant for you is stepping into your life like a sunrise, slow, certain, unstoppable. You've wondered why the same wound kept reopening, why the same fear kept returning, why the same situation kept circling back. Here is your answer. That place is exactly where I'm about to show my power. The deepest wound becomes the brightest testimony, the biggest battle becomes the clearest proof that I never left you. And I know you've been tired of being the strong one, tired of carrying burdens, tired of always rebuilding after disappointment. But hear me, this chapter will not drain you, it will fill you. You will wake up feeling lighter, you will walk with a confidence that doesn't come from ego but from assurance, assurance that I am guiding you, assurance that you are not alone, assurance that your life is finally entering alignment. Do not fear the silence around you, silence is where I work the loudest. Do not fear the shift in relationships, I am aligning the right people to lift you not drain you. Do not fear the unknown in front of you. The unknown is simply the part of the story I haven't revealed yet, and every part one reveal carries blessing. There is something else I need you to understand, this miracle is personal. That's why it won't make sense to others, that's why I asked you not to speak of it. Some people would dismiss it, some would doubt it, some would try to take credit for it. But this moment is between you and me. I am building something in private so that when it appears in your life no one can deny that I did it. And when the shift completes you will notice your spirit standing taller, you will think differently, choose differently, speak differently. Your heart will finally exhale, your mind will finally rest, your steps will finally feel guided instead of guessed. You are not just moving into a better season, you are moving into a truer version of yourself. A version that fear couldn't destroy, a version that trauma couldn't erase, a version that doubt couldn't bury, a version that the enemy tried to silence but I resurrected. This is your turning point, this is your awakening. And child, once this miracle lands, nothing about your life will go back to the way it was. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Stay open, stay expectant, stay ready. The next 2 minutes carry more glory than the last 2 years of your pain. This is your rare miracle, and it is unfolding now. The miracle unfolding in your life right now isn't just a repair job, it's a revelation, a unveiling of power you've never experienced, a wave of healing that does more than touch the surface. It digs deep, right into the places you stopped visiting because they hurt too much. God says, He is restoring the parts of you that even you gave up on, the memories that lingered like shadows, the betrayals that buried your confidence, the pain that became silent habits. He's rewriting it all. This isn't a quick fix, it's a full restoration, a spiritual reconstruction from the ground up. Think of it like a room you kept locked for years. He's opening the windows, letting light in, rearranging everything so peace can finally breathe there again. He is healing trauma that stayed tucked away beneath your strength. He is renewing relationships you crossed off your prayer list because you didn't believe they had any life left. He is touching your body, your heart, and even the patterns that flowed through your family line, the curses you carried unknowingly. He's breaking them quietly one by one. You don't yet understand the things He has removed from your path, but when you see what takes their place, gratitude will overwhelm you. God says, He is making all things new. A new atmosphere is coming to your home, a new flow of provision is coming to your hands, a new clarity is returning to your spirit. You won't wander the way you did before. The nights of crying until sleep took over are ending, the feeling of being invisible is dissolving. He is showing Himself in the rhythm of your breathing, in the calm that follows chaos, in the strength that surprises you. Because He never left, even in the moments you thought you were abandoned, He was shaping your future in silence. He hid you under His wings when danger moved toward you. He allowed certain things to fall apart not as punishment but as protection. What looked like rejection was a divine redirection, what felt like delay was preparation, what seemed like silence was strategy. He doesn't operate on human clocks, He operates on eternity, and that timing has always been flawless. If you understand that even your waiting had purpose, then listen closely. He is your God, your defender, your healer, your anchor, your provider. He is your stillness in storms and your spark when everything feels dim. He is the breath that keeps you moving and the fire that wakes your spirit. Don't ignore this moment, don't brush off the nudge in your chest. That pull you feel is real, it's Him whispering directly to you. He is revealing pieces of the plan He has been shaping for years. Your miracle is not approaching, it has already entered your life. The first wave has already hit, watch how quickly the next ones follow. Stay close, stay listening. He has more to pour into your spirit, more strength, more clarity, more revelation. If you feel His presence now, understand something. He has been watching every step you took in the dark. He stood at the edge of your heartbreak, gathering the pieces you thought were beyond repair. And now He is laying a new foundation, one that won't crack, won't collapse, won't shift under pressure. When you asked Him to save you, this moment became His answer. The shift happening inside you is real, it's sacred. Heaven is actively moving in your favor. Angels are aligning what you thought was impossible. No weapon formed against you stands a chance, because His hand is over your life. You are not late, you are not lost, you are not broken beyond use. God says, He can work with your weakness, your uncertainty, even your past. He doesn't need perfection, He needs your willingness. You've lived too long under the lie that you're unqualified, but He calls you chosen, favored, and deeply loved. Labels of shame, fear, and failure are being peeled off. He is wrapping you in grace, covering you in a peace that feels like exhaling after years of holding your breath. Your past will not torment you anymore. The weight of what was done to you, the guilt you carried, the words spoken over you, they're losing their power. He is shutting the door behind you, and opening a gate ahead of you. And He's not sending you into that future alone, He's walking beside you. The enemy fought you fiercely, because he saw your potential long before you did. He recognized the impact your obedience would have. That's why your mind became a battlefield, that's why isolation felt heavy, but the enemy failed. You survived what should have ended you, and now God says, you're rising. He is lifting your spirit out of sadness, your body out of exhaustion, your heart out of heartbreak, your mind out of confusion. Wherever His light steps in, darkness has to retreat. This is what freedom feels like. This is what breakthrough sounds like. You don't have to earn this, just receive it. Let Him take over, let Him be the one to fight what was never yours to battle alone. You've carried too much for too long, release it now. He has been aligning every detail, stirring hearts, shifting situations, setting divine arrangements in motion. What you thought was survival season, was actually preparation. What felt like His silence, was Him setting the stage. And even when you felt abandoned, He was closest to you. He shielded you from battles you never even saw. He whispered peace when fear tried to choke your courage. Every unanswered prayer was a setup. He never said no, He said not yet, because what's coming is greater than what you asked for. You prayed for relief, but He's bringing restoration. You hoped for a small breakthrough, but He's preparing overflow. You asked for help, but He is sending heaven itself. You are stepping into answered prayers, some from years ago, some you forgot you prayed, and some you never had the courage to say out loud. And as they unfold, you'll understand why the wait was necessary. You've wondered why this peace feels different, why it settles into your bones instead of slipping through your fingers. It's because this peace is not temporary. It's the kind of peace that rewires your spirit, the kind that makes you feel safe in your own skin again. I'm giving you the kind of stillness that softens storms before they form, the kind of clarity that lifts the fog you've been walking through for years. This peace is your confirmation that the battle is shifting in your favor. You will not return to the chaos you came from. You will not go back to the version of yourself who lived in survival mode. I am building a new you, steady, grounded, unshakable. I am restoring your confidence, your voice, your fire. The world tried to dim you, but I am reigniting everything that went quiet inside you. You will walk differently now, not with fear but with authority, not with hesitation but with faith that knows who walks beside you. And listen closely, this healing I'm doing in you isn't partial, it's deep, it's layered, it's complete. I am touching places you stopped praying about. I am mending wounds you forgot you carried because you learned to function with them. I am breathing life into every disappointed dream and every forgotten prayer. Nothing in you is being overlooked. Nothing in you is too broken for me to rebuild. If you feel that gentle shift rising in your spirit, comment 11 and let your agreement echo in heaven. You've spent years being strong for everyone else, and now I am being strong for you. I held you up in moments where you didn't even know how close you were to collapsing. I was the strength behind your smile, the anchor behind your calm, the shield behind your tears. And now you are stepping into a season where the weight lifts, where your shoulders rest, where your soul breathes without trembling. You are moving out of survival and into overflow, out of questioning and into clarity, out of heartbreak and into restoration. You will not just rise, you will rise with purpose, with wisdom, with a renewed identity shaped by everything I carried you through. The enemy tried to bury you in silence, but I am giving you a voice that cannot be ignored. He tried to make you invisible, but I am placing my light on you in a way that no one can overlook. he tried to convince you that you were too late, too flawed, too tired, but I am declaring over you now, you are right on time, perfectly positioned, divinely aligned. If your faith is still alive beneath the ashes, comment 22 and declare it. I heard every quiet question you asked in the dark, I felt every moment your heart tightened with fear, I saw every time you forced yourself to keep going when your spirit felt empty. And I stayed close, so close that even your breath carried the echo of my presence. I guarded you from dangers you never saw, from betrayals that never reached you, from losses that would have broken you beyond repair. Now the heavens are moving for you again, the shift is not just coming, it has already begun, this is your divine moment, your appointed hour, your sacred turning point. Don't shrink back now, don't sabotage what I've prepared by doubting your worth, this miracle is tailored for you, shaped around you, aligned with the purpose I planted within you long before you understood your calling. Your story is going to heal others, your faith will unlock doors for people watching you silently, your breakthrough will testify for generations. I am not blessing you just to bless you, I am blessing you because I trust you to carry my light into places where others have lost hope. You've carried burdens that made your soul ache, you've prayed prayers that felt like they dissolved into the air, you've poured into others even while running on empty. But I remember every sacrifice, I honor every moment you chose love when bitterness called your name, and now the oil being poured over your life is sacred, it was pressed out of your pain, your endurance, your obedience, this oil is setting you apart for a new chapter. Fear will try to whisper, it will tell you you're not ready, not capable, not worthy. But fear is a liar, my voice is truth, my timing is perfect, my hand is on you. Where you're going fear cannot follow, I am calling you higher, not to boast, but to become who you truly are. Your miracle is starting from the inside, your mind is clearing, your heart is softening, your spirit is realigning. I am resetting your foundation so that everything built next is unshakable, this is not just a fixing, it is a complete renewal. If you're ready to be made whole comment 1212 and receive this transformation. I am restoring what was taken, I am redeeming lost years, I am rebuilding dreams that crumbled under disappointment, I am replacing what you lost with something greater, safer, lasting. Soon you'll understand the purpose behind every delay, every closed door, every unanswered prayer, what felt like rejection was protection, what felt like waiting was preparation. You are not walking into an ordinary season, you are stepping into a divine appointment written long before you knew how to pray. Stay open, stay listening, stay expectant, because what's unfolding now is only the beginning, and the ending I have written for you is far more beautiful than the chapters you cried through. If you believe this is divine timing and not coincidence, comment 333 and let your faith speak. The truth is, beloved child, you were never falling apart, you were being reshaped. Every quiet night where you asked why me was a night where heaven whispered, because I trust you with transformation. You didn't see it then, but your spirit was outgrowing the walls that once confined you, and sometimes expansion feels like breaking. But now listen closely, something in the atmosphere around you is shifting again, not the loud kind of shift that everyone notices, but the soft sacred kind that happens when destiny starts breathing over your life. You can feel it, that gentle pull in your chest, that calm certainty settling over your thoughts, that's the sign that what was once delayed is beginning to break through. You thought you were waiting on me, but child, I was waiting on the version of you who could hold what I was preparing. I saw the heaviness on your shoulders, the weariness behind your eyes, the battles no one knew you were fighting, and still you kept choosing light, you kept choosing hope, even when your voice shook you kept praying, even when your hands trembled you kept reaching for me. That is why this blessing belongs to you, not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. There were days your tears spoke louder than your prayers, but I heard both. There were nights your heart felt too tired to keep believing, yet your soul whispered just a little more, and heaven moved at that whisper. You never prayed into emptiness, every cry landed in my hands. And now the season that once drained you is becoming the very ground where your joy will grow. The same places that felt like endings will soon reveal themselves as beginnings. The loneliness you felt was not abandonment, it was the clearing of space for new connections, new peace, new direction. You didn't lose people randomly. I removed who would have dimmed the promise over you. I know how deeply some losses cut, I know how you questioned your worth, your path, your purpose, but hear me now. Nothing was taken from you that was meant to stay, nothing that left your life carried your future with it, and everything that remains is aligned with what I'm bringing next. You're entering a chapter where what once broke you will now build you, where what once confused you will now make sense, where what once hurt you will now heal others through your testimony. You survived battles that were supposed to bury you, and because of that you carry a strength you don't even recognize yet. Don't rush this moment, let it settle into your spirit, let it remind you that you're closer than you think. The heaviness that sat on your chest for months is lifting, not because circumstances changed overnight, but because you changed. You're no longer fighting the way you used to, you're no longer shrinking the way you once did, you're becoming who I always saw in you. There are blessings already moving toward you, blessings that don't require you to prove yourself or perform. They are coming because you endured, because you stayed kind-hearted, because you kept walking even when you didn't know where the road was leading. Child, I'm about to unfold answers to questions you haven't dared to ask out loud. I'm about to guide you into rooms you once feared you didn't belong in. The doors that are opening now aren't random, they are timed, positioned, and crafted for you. Some will open quietly like a soft dawn, others will swing wide with a clarity that leaves you breathless. And in the stillness that follows, you'll understand why the waiting was necessary, why the pruning was essential, why the slow seasons matter just as much as the breakthroughs. This is the turning point, the moment where your spirit aligns with your purpose, where your faith becomes sight, where your resilience becomes reward. The weight you carried is being transformed into wisdom, the pain you endured is becoming power, and what once felt like loss is becoming gain. So breathe deeply now, let your shoulders relax, let your soul lean into this peace. You're not stepping into just another phase, you're stepping into promise, into clarity, into restoration, the kind of restoration that doesn't return you to who you were, but reveals who you were always meant to be. There is a reason your heart feels lighter today, there is a reason your spirit feels awake again. You're standing at the threshold of a new season, a sacred one, a gentle one, a destined one, and everything you thought was broken beyond repair is about to show you why it had to fall apart first. This is the moment where your story shifts, where heaven breathes on your path, where the echoes of your past no longer hold power over your future. You are rising, not by force, not by fear, but by the quiet strength that's been growing in you all along. And child, this time nothing can stop you. Nothing you poured out was ignored. Love given in sincerity always returns in a new form, even when the old form disappears. You think some chapters closed without purpose, but every moment of generosity, every sacrifice, every time you chose compassion instead of anger, those were seeds, seeds that fell into the soil of eternity, and now without warning they are beginning to bloom, not in the places you expected, but in the places you need most. That's why I'm telling you to stop seeing your past as a waste. You were planting the future without even realizing it. What you considered loss was actually alignment. I took certain things out of your hands so I could place something better in them. I saw the heartbreak forming long before you felt it. I knew the outcome when you were still hoping it would work, and though it hurt, I never let the pain be pointless. Every tear softened your heart, every ending shaped your character, every closed door redirected your steps toward the one that was always meant for you. Your spirit is wiser now. You no longer chase what drains you, you no longer cling to what confuses you. You've learned that peace is more valuable than attention, and healing is more powerful than holding on. This is why I can move fully in your life now. You're ready in ways you weren't before. You've shed the old attachments, the old fears, the old habits that made you small. You're not shrinking anymore. You're expanding into the identity I placed in you before the world hardened you. Comment 444 if you feel that shift happening inside you, because it's real. You're stepping into a version of yourself you prayed for but didn't know how to reach, and I'm guiding you into it gently, steadily, intentionally. You're not walking blind, you're walking escorted. This is why the last season felt so heavy. You weren't being punished, you were being purified. Some things you carried into the fire couldn't come out with you. Some relationships that felt permanent were only temporary assignments. Some dreams that cracked in your hands were never meant to survive the pressure of your calling. And I know you questioned it. I know you wondered why everything shifted at once. Why comfort turned into stretching, why certainty turned into silence, but it was necessary. You can't build a new life on an old version of yourself. You are not the same person who walked into that storm. You've grown in ways invisible to others but undeniable inside your own soul. The same things that used to break you now reveal your strength. The same wounds that once bled now carry wisdom. The same fears that held you back now look small in the light of who you've become. So hear me clearly, you are worthy of what's coming. Not because you performed perfectly but because you endured faithfully. You held on when your hope shook. You prayed when your voice trembled. You chose kindness when betrayal would have been easier. You kept showing up when quitting seemed logical. Heaven takes note of that kind of perseverance. And now the rebuilding begins, not rushed, not chaotic, not unstable. This time it's intentional, peaceful, grounded. This time you will walk into blessings without anxiety whispering that they're temporary. This time you won't sabotage what's good because you finally believe you deserve good things. You've outgrown the version of yourself that settled, that doubted, that apologized for existing, and that's why I am restoring, not recycling. Comment 3131 if you know you're stepping into a chapter where nothing is forced, because that's exactly what this next phase is, graceful alignment. The right people will gravitate toward your energy without you chasing them. Opportunities will find you because your frequency has changed. You're not attracting from desperation anymore, you're attracting from identity. But there's something else I want you to understand. You're not just receiving blessing, you're becoming a blessing. That's why this process matters. You'll carry light into places that were dim. You'll speak healing into hearts that have grown numb. You'll walk with others in their storms because you remember your own. Your story now carries the kind of authenticity that can't be faked and can't be minimized. There will come a moment soon when someone touches the exact pain you once carried, and without effort you will be able to lift them. Not by quoting rehearsed lines but by speaking from experience. real, raw, redeemed experience. What once hurt you will one day help someone else heal. That is how I turn wounds into wisdom. And I'm not finished with you. There is more unfolding, more clarity, more peace, more stability, more restoration than you've dared to imagine. This is not a partial blessing or a temporary breakthrough. This is long-term, this is foundational, this is generational. What I'm placing in your hands will ripple through your future and into the lives of those who come after you. Comment 2020 if you feel that truth settling in your spirit. You're not walking into this season by accident. You were shaped for it, stretched for it, strengthened for it. Everything that once tried to bury you is about to witness you bloom, and nothing will stop what I've started in you. You sense it, don't you? That quickening in your spirit, that subtle shift inside you that feels almost like someone gently turned on a light in a room you forgot existed. That's because this next move isn't slow, it isn't distant, it's already unfolding. You're stepping into a blessing that doesn't crawl toward you, it rushes. The kind that arrives like sunrise after a long night, quiet but unstoppable. And hear me clearly now, what I'm doing for you won't require you to push, to beg, or to fight your way through doors that never fit you in the first place. I'm causing the right doors to open as naturally as morning follows midnight. This is restoration that doesn't simply rebuild, it redesigns. It rearranges the very pieces of your story so even the broken places become part of the beauty. You've carried enough heaviness for one lifetime, you've held on through seasons where every prayer felt unanswered and every step felt uphill. But what you didn't realize is that you were being strengthened for a blessing that needed a stronger version of you. Now that strength is ripe, now your heart is ready, now your spirit can receive what once would have overwhelmed you. You're not stepping into a repeat of the past, this isn't another cycle, this is a crossing, a graduation in the spirit. The old fears that used to paralyze you will lose their power, the old triggers won't trigger, the old wounds won't reopen. I'm sealing them with healing that goes deeper than memory. You'll notice you react differently, respond differently, believe differently, and that's because I've been reshaping you from the inside out. And listen closely, the love you thought was lost, the joy you thought was gone, the hope you thought had expired, I'm breathing life into all of it. Not to return you to who you were but to reveal who you're becoming. The version of you rising now is wiser, softer, bolder. People will look at you and see peace where pain once lived, they'll see confidence growing where doubt used to sit. This transformation won't be loud but it will be unmistakable. There's a reason your heart feels pulled closer to me in this season. I want your first instinct to be to talk to me before you talk to anyone else. I want your spirit to lean into my presence the same way a child leans into a familiar embrace. You don't have to perform for me, you don't have to pretend you're strong when you're not, you don't have to hide the parts of you think are too messy. I meet you exactly where you're honest. And because of that honesty now comes the reward. I have watched you keep walking through storms that felt like they had no end. I've seen you choose faith when fear was louder, you held on even when your voice trembled, even when your heart cracked. That endurance didn't disappear into the air, you planted it. And now the harvest is returning to you multiplied. This blessing will not feel heavy, it will feel like relief, like finally exhaling after years of holding your breath, like realizing you aren't alone, never were and never will be. You will look back and understand why it had to take this long, because what I'm giving you now couldn't have fit into the old version of you. I'm restoring relationships that were meant to stay, removing ties that were draining you, and bringing divine connections that match your purpose. People who see your spirit, not just your surface, people who carry integrity, loyalty, and peace, people who reflect the love I've been pouring into you. Every wrong voice is being silenced, every wrong presence is being moved out of the way, and every right person is being guided toward you. And yes, you're going to feel emotional waves, moments when tears rise for no reason, moments when warmth floods your chest, moments when a sudden calm washes over you. That's spiritual confirmation, that's alignment, that's breakthrough humming beneath the surface. You've wondered if you're worthy of this new season. Let me answer that the way heaven sees it, you are. Not because you never failed, but because you never stopped returning to me, not because you were flawless, but because you kept choosing faith even when it cracked. I've seen your quiet sacrifices, your late-night prayers, your silent endurance. Heaven has already stamped its yes on your life. What comes next will feel like divine rhythm, opportunities showing up without you chasing, clarity arriving without you searching, peace settling without you forcing it. You won't question whether something is from me, because the peace surrounding it will be undeniable. That's the sign, that's how you'll know. So let your shoulders drop, let your heart rest, let your mind breathe. I'm not asking you to strive, I'm asking you to receive, I'm not asking you to fight, I'm asking you to trust, I'm not asking you to understand, I'm asking you to stay. Stay with me, stay present, stay expectant. There is one more wave coming, and this one carries fullness, overflow, clarity, healing, direction, and the final peace you've been praying for. You are closer than you think, you are stronger than you realize, and you are walking into the season everything was preparing you for. If you feel that shift deep in your spirit right now, the one that says something sacred is unlocking, comment 11 and let your faith echo what heaven has already declared over you.